All right, so we're given an equation here, and it says choose the correct statement about the number of solutions. So the first thing you should know is that this is a quadratic equation, and I know that because of the x squared here. And quadratic equations either have one solution, two solutions, or no solution. So if I recognize that off the bat, I know D is not even an option. So it's either A, B, or C. So what we're going to do to answer this question, there's a couple ways you could do it. I'm going to show you what is the easiest way, and that's by using the discriminant. All right, so let's put a couple things out here first. The standard form of a quadratic looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. All right. And so if I look at the equation they gave us, -3 is our a value, -4 is our b value, and -2 is our c value. And you're going to see in just a second why I pointed those out. All right. So again, I said I'm going to use the discriminant. So what the heck is that? Well, let's start with the quadratic formula. And hopefully, in whatever state you're taking this test, they'll give you this formula. If not, then it's something that you're going to have to memorize. My students used to have to memorize it, and then the state started giving it to them. And so that was really nice of them. So here's what it is. It is x equals -b plus or minus the square root, and you're going to see you really don't want to have to memorize this. -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. And there's actually a song that you can sing to memorize this. That's how I used to teach it to my students. But then I'd have that song stuck in my head for like a month. So hopefully you don't have to memorize it. But if you do, look up the song. It's there. All right. So here's the quadratic formula. We said we were going to use the discriminant to determine how many solutions there are to this equation. The discriminant is this piece underneath the radical, underneath the square root here. B squared minus 4 times a times c. So let's see what the value of that is for our equation. All right, so I'm going to take the discriminant. It's again this piece right here. And I'm just going to find out what b squared minus 4ac is equal to. So back in our equation, we said b was -4. So I have -4 minus 4 times the a value, which was -3, times the c value, which was -2. All right, so follow order of operations. Going to do the multiplication here next. So I have -4, and then I have 4 times 3, that's 12, and 24. And there's 3 negative signs in here, so this is going to come out as negative. So this is going to be -24. So complete that, and you get -28. All right. So remember, what we just found is called the discriminant. It's this value underneath the radical. And so what do we know about taking square roots? What is the square root of -28? Well, the square root of any negative number is undefined. You can't take the square root of a negative. So that tells me that there are no solutions. Now, if this was a positive number, so maybe I should write this out. So let's see, this whole piece here, if this was positive, then that would mean that there were two solutions. Two solutions. Because when you take the square root of something, you actually get two answers. So for instance, the square root of 4 is 2 or -2, right? So that's how you get two solutions. If we already said if it's negative, then there's no solution. So no solution. Wrap this around my head here. And then if it's 0, the square root of 0 is just 0. So 0 leaves you with one solution. All right, solution below here. All right, so that's a really easy way if you're asked to find how many solutions there are to a quadratic equation. Just look at the quadratic formula and just find the value of this piece under the radical. And again, that's called the discriminant. And so you find that value. If it's positive, there's two solutions. If it's negative, there's no solution. And if it's 0, then there's one solution. All right. So hopefully that helped you out. Keep working hard. You're doing great. You're on your way to mastering the math.